Once upon a time, in a quiet and peaceful town, lived a young couple, Mr. Harold Bennett and his wife. In the early days of their marriage, they had very little. They weren't born into wealth, but they had something far greater: honesty, determination, and a dream. Harold started as a humble mechanic, working tirelessly day and night. With time, he hired a few workers, built trust with his clients and partners, and slowly turned his small garage into a thriving business. Through sheer hard work and integrity, he rose to become one of the most successful businessmen in the city. Though he came from a modest background, he ensured his only son, Ryan, had the best of everything: top schools, luxury vacations, and eventually a seat in a prestigious business college abroad. He dreamed that one day Ryan would take the empire even further, with pride and purpose. But wealth has its own way of shaping people. While Harold remained grounded, Ryan grew distant. The overseas life gave him luxury, but it took away humility. Calls became rare, visits even rarer. After Harold's wife passed away from cancer, the mansion echoed with silence. No one came home. Only photos remained to remind him of the family he once had. For the past few months, Harold had been battling a serious heart condition. He called his son, explained his health issues, and even asked him to stay by his side for a while. But Ryan didn't listen. Sometimes he ignored the calls. Other times he answered only to say, "Dad, you don't understand. I am building something big. You're just trying to hold me back." Harold pleaded, but Ryan brushed him off, saying, "I know you're sick, but just get admitted to the hospital. It's not a big deal. I'm busy." Despite repeated messages, Ryan only visited once, and that too, just to sign some documents and have the properties transferred to his name. He said he was busy expanding his startup. But to Harold, it felt like he had already lost his son to ambition. During his final days in the hospital, Harold had no family by his side. Not a single loved one sat with him. A few old friends dropped by now and then, but only for brief visits. Despite all his wealth, Harold felt utterly helpless and alone. He had raised his son with love, care, and every possible luxury, never letting him feel the absence of anything. Yet now, lying in a hospital bed, he felt as if he had never had a child at all. In that emptiness, Harold found unexpected comfort in a young janitor named David. Quiet, humble, and kind, David did far more than his duty. He adjusted Harold's pillows, brought him warm water, and sat with him during the long, silent nights. When Harold's vision blurred from exhaustion, David read to him. They spoke like old friends, about life, regrets, dreams, and what truly matters. David had lost his own father at a young age and told Harold he reminded him of him. He never asked for anything, but he gave everything he could: his time, his presence, and his heart. One afternoon, Ryan finally visited. He walked in, designer shoes clicking on the floor, and saw David adjusting his father's blanket. "Get away from my father!" Ryan snapped. "You're just a cleaner. Don't act like you care." David quietly nodded and left the room without a word. 2 weeks later, Harold passed away peacefully in his sleep. At the will reading, Ryan sat at the front, smug, confident, and ready to inherit everything. The lawyer opened the folder and said, "According to Mr. Bennett's will, the estate, business, and all properties will go to David Carter, the janitor." Ryan was shocked. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. Moments ago, he was smiling, certain that everything would go to him after all. He was the only son. Gasps filled the room. "What?" Ryan shouted. "That's ridiculous! He tricked him in his final days. I'll take this to court. He must have forged something." The lawyer calmly raised a small voice recorder. "Before you do that, please listen to this." He pressed play. The room fell silent. Harold's voice, weak but clear, echoed through the speakers. "If you're hearing this, I'm no longer here. I spent my whole life for the future of my child. I gave everything I could, my time, my love, wealth, and comfort. But in my final days, I found no warmth from my own blood. My son saw me as a wallet, not a father. And yet someone who owed me nothing helped me with compassion, cleaned my room, sat with me, and spoke to me like a human. I give him everything, not because he needed it, but because he earned it. The recording ended. The room stayed quiet. Ryan sat frozen, mouth open, unable to speak. His inheritance had vanished, not stolen, but lost to his own neglect. David covered his face, tears falling from his eyes. Not out of joy, but sorrow for a man who only wanted love from his son and had to find it in a stranger. Moral of the story: parents may not be with us forever, but their love lasts a lifetime. They spend their lives sacrificing, guiding, and giving everything so their children can rise. But when they grow old, what they need most isn't money or gifts, it's time, respect, and presence. Neglecting them in their final days is not just a loss for them, but a deeper loss for us. Honor your parents while you still can, because no wealth in the world can replace the warmth of their blessings. If this story touched your heart, comment "Parents are priceless" and share it with your friends. May God bless you with the wisdom to value them before it's too late.